Ladies and gentlemen, we are now live in prime time on the brightest lights, the biggest stage, baby, where all wrestling matters. And tonight, let's just say we've got an episode that you might want to put on your list because our guest is certainly notable for that famous list, and we'll definitely get to that. But maybe you didn't have on your list a few weeks ago that our guest, well, let's just say, put an end to a juggernaut, put an end to the career in NEW of arguably one of the greatest wrestlers, not only in NEW, but underground wrestling history. We'll talk about that. We'll also talk about what's next now that season 7 has now been announced for 2 weeks from tomorrow. And where does the Puerto Rican dream and the star of the show fall into what's about to come? I'll ask our guest here about maybe, well, how about that new NEW undisputed champion and maybe another guy that was here that was, well, back and forth with our guest during that famous list segment. I'll also talk about the NEW Season 6 awards, where our guest won not one, but 2 awards. We'll talk about that. We'll also talk about what on earth did I see on Instagram where it was a Gabe Sayers photo and nothing posted? What's up with that? We'll also talk about NWE is back in business and a familiar face came and is a new part of the roster. And well, let's just say gave Joestar, well, let's just say some problems that maybe took his star down just a little bit. We'll talk about that. Plus, maybe I'll even mention, I don't know, a surprise or even 2 surprises I have for Joestar. Plus, who knows, whatever else. And maybe even a riot in the ring where we'll see a Shocky Boy and a star of the show that very well could steal the show. Yeah, this is going to be one you're going to remember for a long time. So, ladies and gentlemen, get your list ready. It is now time because you want that introduction. He wants that introduction to get this show on the road here in style on Sportzwire Radio, the #1 global radio station where all wrestling matters. In the words of Def Leppard singer Joe Elliott, let's get rocked, baby, and let's start this show on the road here in style. So with that, without further ado, here on the Sports Report, #1 Gamble Sports Show. A man that was a part of NEW Season 6 Feud of the Year. A man that was also a part of NEW Season 6 Fan Favorite of the Year. The reigning, defending NEW Northeast Champion and the man that ended the career in NEW of the Surge. His name is simply put, the Puerto Rican Dream Dun 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 Dun, 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 dun. Joestar. The champ is here, my friend. How are we doing?
I'm doing great, Tom, and that intro you always bring top notches on those.
Yeah, we're trying new things. I'm trying war chants, extra war chants. We're doing extra blah 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 blah. I mean, we're trying different things here. I think the people seem to want different things. The war chant seems to be a popular thing that I've added to it. I think Joestar, you're going to get it more often. Torrance Banks, who's here, liked it. Lyra Limber liked it. I had Hillbilly Tilly last week said it was the greatest thing. So we'll have to see if others think the same. But Joe, it is great to be with you. And how you been, first of all?
Well, after the whole entire what happened in season 6 finale,
Did you
it
have
was
that on your
crazy.
list?
Oh, that's crazy. Honestly, it's just like I'm still overwhelmed on what happened,
Yeah.
but at the same time, at least I could say that I'm not somebody that you could underlook because I
It
did
was a
say
career-defining moment. We're gonna watch the match. I know there's some people here that want to talk to you, and there's no
people
question that
doubted me. People
yeah, you were
laughed at
doubted on
me.
here. You know, the list came up, and you had a big crowd last month, and people were certainly, looking at you, and they didn't take you serious against the Surge. They looked at it. This is
I
the power
wouldn't.
Surge. Yep.
I wouldn't. I wouldn't disagree with them because they don't know me as much as how far I can go to do in this business, and
Yeah.
to have one opportunity to not let it slip. Like I said before, if there's an opportunity for me to get and I could show the world what I'm made of, then I tend to prove them wrong, which there's a fighting spirit there. I could tell you for sure. That's how you know that I'm a fighting spirit on there.
Well, maybe you were motivated. Maybe you were motivated about people that were kind of almost taking you lightly when it came to the Surge. People look at the Surge, and this is a man that's a professional wrestler. This is a man that helped build this company. This is a man that, again, he's in better shape than WWE wrestlers. This is a man that's
Mm-hmm.
just physically imposing. And there's very few people in wrestling history in the underground and maybe even in the independents that could match up with him. So a lot of people didn't really think you had much of a chance. You've struggled to get past the likes of Tyson Spade. You've had certainly quite a bit of problems with him, and you've only been in it a few years compared to him. He's been in it for a decade and a half, and a lot of people, and certainly after your last appearance here, really didn't think that you had much of a chance.
No, and and having that accomplished under your belt is like no other feeling because you got that under your belt, like you're the better man. But the name on that plaque, it was matters, and
Yeah.
Power Surge.
Yeah, I mean,
I
listen, no, Power Surge, like I said, he's a guy to me that transcends NEW, right? I mean,
and
there's certainly fans of NEW, and then to me, there's wrestlers that to me outside of NEW have a footprint that you look at and say, wow, you know what? That guy, he means a lot. And look at what he does. He's in a tag team to break the fourth wall with somebody else's career that ended in NEW. They've held championship gold. They've gone out there and really established themselves in the independent circuit. And, to defeat him, that really is a generational victory. It's a victory that it's a career defining moment. There was no question that the broadcaster during the show, who I'm sure a lot of people would probably figure out who it is, was talking about that. That really, this was a career defining moment for you. And that's, I think, what it was. And I think we're a long time from now, we're going to remember that match. And that really redefined your career, more or less.
Yeah, and that's good for me, but there's another side to that
What?
double-edged sword, cuz I got a lot of respect for Serge, and I
Yeah, I
kind of
could see
feel
that.
like,
You embraced after the match. You shook hands with him. It wasn't like you and Tyson. I mean, you both went to jail famously. You both tried to
yeah,
kill each
like,
other on this platform.
Serge is like, he was my dude, like I
Yeah.
couldn't. It felt like like making a friend there, because not in this business, you can't really much make new
Well,
friends,
he
because
was
you
a
don't know the
mentor, a
intent.
locker room leader, and I'm sure you look to him a lot for advice. He's been
I
extremely
had.
successful, and I know it's tough to see him go, but it's it wasn't personal. You were trying to defend your
Oh,
championship, and that's what it came down to.
which is why, like, like I said, it's a double-edged sword.
Yeah.
One is like a good thing for my career, because no, he's not he haven't hated me
No.
doing it, so
No.
it was like it was nothing personal.
No,
But at
and
the
I
same
said I think I
time,
said it
boom.
here. I think I said it here last month, and we'll put the match up in a minute. But it was almost kind of like Shawn Michaels and Ric Flair, or Shawn Michaels and The Undertaker. It was just one of those matches that, it was two men going out there as competitors, have a mutual respect for each other. And it was just something that it wasn't personal. It was just a matter of that was what's on the line.
Yeah, I can't really say that I really knew Serge as much as everybody else could,
Sure.
but I there's different ways how I find friends, and I how I deem family. It's like, if somebody really, you know if they're cool with me, and they vibing with me, you're a percent like on my circle. Honestly, like, you, not my family circle, but you just like have my acknowledgement, like, you're
Well, I
like,
think
I
you and
like
Serge
respect
had.
for you.
I think, yeah, I think you and Serge definitely had that. We'll get to the match in a minute, but if you're here, hit the sub button for our friends in NEW. They're closing in on 2,500 subscribers. They're doing a great
Hmm.
job out there. We're very excited about season 7 starting in 2 weeks. So if you're out
Season
there, you're
7,
like me,
baby.
that if you're out there like me that might be celebrating Easter and Passover, enjoy your next 2 weekends and come back on April 26th. And season 7 will be back. And we'll say hello to everybody here in the chat. Thank you so much for being here. And obviously, if you're in the Northeast, please let's get to some warm weather already. But we'll
Hmm.
take that off the screen in a minute. We'll come back and watch the match. But you know, you get any advice from Serge that you took away, whether it was before the match or talking with him during your run here in NEW? Any advice that you took away from him that he gave you that's going to help you going forward for the rest of your career in the underground?
Usually, everything that he said is just like how to. I don't want to pre giving this out, because it's like
No, don't do it.
more
Well, give us something general. Give us some general advice.
generally just like generally just like how my ring work is,
Hmm.
like how like I could develop it more to my natural ability style, to make it like no other.
Hmm.
And I kind of got the rhythm of it, in a way. Like, I'm trying out new things. I'm trying out like other stuff that nobody has really seen me before, that I could develop more years into the
Yeah.
business, of course.
It's like anything else, it's like, for example, if you're a musician, sometimes as a musician, the only way you can prolong your career is you have to adapt. You have to be able to, whether it's survive the trends, or maybe as a
Hmm.
musician, almost expand your horizons. And as a wrestler, you want to adapt as well. You want to be able to try different things and expand more, and that could help you either be a better wrestler or be a better person. And I think that those are really important things. And it's like anything else in life, you want to be able to adapt. And obviously, we see some people here. So let's talk about the match. I'm going to put it up here on the screen. We're going to definitely talk a lot about the season 6 awards. We're going to get into a number of different things. So I'm excited. Thank you, everybody here for tuning in. I appreciate all of your support. And let's get it here. So I'm going to go like this. I'm going to go like that. We're going to come into your match. I actually have it time stamped because we've watched
Oh,
it a few times. Yep, yeah, we've had it time stamped. So we'll come back to it right now here. That's the beauty of technology. So here you go. All right, so we're going right here, and here he is, the man, the myth, and the Surge, the juggernaut himself, the owner of the company, and
yeah,
yeah, quite a figure, man. Just quite an imposing figure.
yeah, pretty much. Cause like literally in his Instagram, pretty much he be lifting up like 335
He's
pounds.
lifting up like two or
Like,
three of me's.
like honestly, like he's no dude to mess with. Honestly, like
Yeah, I could
and
see. I say it all the time. He's in better shape than WWE wrestlers. Legitimately speaking, I've had some pros on here that are have wrestled WWE guys, and he's in better shape than them. Frankly, it's no knock on those individuals. The man's
yeah,
just he's probably got like less than 5% body fat. He got 5% on the back of his shirt. He might have less than 5% body fat. No joke.
pretty much. And at the same time, I'm like, his swift skill set that he have, like his
Yeah.
judo background, his submission
Yep.
type base, and then his forearms and chops, and his all. You already know all about his kicks. It's
Yeah,
just,
I know. I mean, I've got a chance to
uh,
watch him here now for
I
the past year
I
and change.
got kicked in the head by him, and I flipped over at right into the ring three, so I could pretty much say like, yeah, that first time didn't win for me.
Well, obviously, let's just say you took some Advil afterwards,
Yeah, pretty much.
uh, yeah, you and him are such different wrestlers, such different people, and definitely a test. And he was arguably the greatest Northeast champion of all time. What he did in his run as champion, and he's the owner of the company. And again, it's also you're in the semi-main event of season finale. I mean, just
Yeah,
that's also a big thing, right? Being in a show that had a lot of views, a lot of
co-main
likes.
evented, which
Yeah,
is like is it's not like main evented, because like I don't want to say like it's not main event caliber, but at the same time, I'm trying to say like co-main eventing is
yeah,
always have like that spotlight on you. Is like, dang, like I have to give these people what they want in a fight and like
yeah,
what they want in a wrestling match.
yeah. That's a good
So
point. That's a
and
good point.
against Surge and you know the stakes on how it is makes it even worse situation for yourself to saying like when you think about it as much.
Well, it's a lot
But
of pressure. There's a lot of
it
pressure. There's a lot
is.
of pressure.
But it's just like how Serge told me before, to adapt on how everything this is because last year I was a rookie
Yes.
and literally last year I was rookie of the season.
Yep.
This year, fan favorite. I am no longer a rookie. I am no longer.
He didn't have a sophomore slump. Sometimes those
It's
who
just
win Rookie
like
of the Year, they have sophomore slumps. You see it a lot in whether it's baseball, basketball, hockey, that or football. Big example. Since your
my
buddy Gabe Sayers
resume.
does football, yeah, you got Robert Griffin, RG3 was the Rookie of the Year, takes the then
Hmm.
Washington Redskins to the playoffs, and he was never the same afterwards. So you avoided the sophomore slump, and no, Brent, I would not want to be manhandled by the Surge. I don't go that way, but thank you anyway. It was a funny joke, but no, I don't go that way. But who knows? But maybe somebody else out there would want to. But that man would kill me. He'd probably kill most of the locker room. But we'll talk about the match. But thank you for tuning in. I do appreciate that very much. But obviously, yeah, you're being manhandled there, figuratively and literally, and he's got off to a strong start. He's the veteran, and this is kind of the pace he wants right now.
And like my usual skill set between anybody else that's like not as a surge level type because like he's like pretty much in the pros in the indies type base
Yeah, yeah.
instead of like anybody in the underground circuit. But it's like I had to switch up my tactics a little bit since he's more of a bigger guy and he's more of a bigger strength.
I mean, you went from Tyson Spade to Power Surge. That's a huge
A
contrast in
different,
size. Yep. Yeah.
yeah. So I had to switch up quickly, which that's the name of the game in wrestling. You're gonna have to switch up your game once in a while when you're doing like any type matches, like if you're or any type of opponent
Hmm.
you're going
Yeah.
against. Because one day you could be going against the lights of Spade sizes people like a cruiserweight or flyweight or like that type of high
Right, you go
flyer
from a
type
Spade, a
weights.
Kuma,
And
and then you go from
then
a Surge or a Savage. Sure.
yeah, and then there's like bigger people. You're gonna have to like concentrate on like what you do.
Yeah. No,
So
I think it's an
like
interesting
the
point.
punches, I'm
I
pretty
see
much
that.
slow and steady punches because pretty much he's a big of a man. Like instead of going for my regular jabs.
Right, because you're trying to wear them down. You're trying to be more methodical. It's like if you're in a band, sometimes the drummer plays a certain style differently. You know, there's some
Mm-hmm.
drummers that play double bass. Others play more like the Rolling Stones or AC/DC. For a musician, you don't understand. It's very slower, more methodical pace,
Yeah.
and that's kind of what you're going for. Let me ask you though this question because you bring up the fact that the Surge is a professional wrestler. He's a professional
Yeah.
wrestler. We see him every weekend. Did you have to wrestle up to his ability, or did he wrestle? I don't want to say down to your ability, or maybe less experience that you have, but did you feel the need to maybe a better term is to wrestle a little more than what you have ability wise because he has experiences that are a little different than yours just because of the years and he's wrestling professional wrestlers. Sometimes guys in this level that are like the Surge that are in the independents or in the pros, they themselves have to adapt or wrestle differently. What was that approach here in this particular match for you?
So, uh, honestly, it was not like a huge difference. Honestly,
Hmm.
like it's not. It's pretty much like people think that it's on different level, which okay, mildly it is because on right here is like underground
Yep.
and backyard federations are under there,
Right. Yeah.
and
Yeah.
in the
Yeah.
middle is pretty much indie and then pros on top. I
Exactly.
get the
Exactly. Yep.
level of it,
Yep.
but it I guess it's not like too it's not too difficult to pretty much switch
Okay.
in because it's pretty much methodical.
Okay. Yeah, because
Like
I've heard some guys say that's the case, but I could see your point as well. It's a good point here, but you know,
because
go
like
ahead.
you got like you got a certain way of doing things because like you got like the normal fast pace just like
I want to do spot
non-stop.
here, spot there. Yeah, then you got those that might just want to run a match where it's just maybe more of a brawling match. But I can see what you're saying because I do see a little bit of the methodicalness here. And we're watching, by the way, Power Surge and Joestar for the NEW Northeast Championship. It is a part of NEW Season 6 finale. At the time here, Surge was the owner of the company, and his career was on the line against the Puerto Rican Dream, the star of the show here, Mr. Joestar, is the Northeast champion. My name is the Reverend Tom Bryce. Thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in. But yeah, I see you working some submissions here. You're trying to get the big man down a bit. You're trying to obviously wear him out a little bit.
Yeah, no, so like I don't know if so starting off like once in a while I'd be doing submissions here and there.
Yeah.
It's just
Hmm.
like a desperate type of move if like I feel like I'm like I know how to do this type of move. You're not gonna see it coming, but
Hmm.
it's just like at the way like how I differently moved at this match. It was more like not to his style, but I was prepared for
Well,
how
this is a completely different match than the one you had with Tyson Spade, a month prior. I
pretty
mean, let's be
much
honest. I mean, that's totally a totally different dynamic. I mean, this is,
because
way different than what we've seen with you. Yep.
one was a literally fight, and the other
Yeah.
one is technical. It's not technical wrestling, but it's a technical bout in a
Yeah.
way I could say
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, that's a good point. No, that's a good point. We see the Surge's strength. I mean, just what he did, power bombing you, spine busting. He did it like it was nothing. I mean, there'd be,
Mm-hmm.
a lot of people in the underground wouldn't be able to do that as easily as he did, but he
And
was able
at
to do
that
that.
time, a 250 pound Joestar pretty much like it. You saw the ease on
Yep. Yeah.
how he power bombed, and then he just
It's like
like
you're a sack of potatoes almost.
And that's why it was like so out of nowhere. Like I can't underestimate him because like I know
Oh no.
I could never underestimate him. I had to show him I why I'm here, why I'm the champion,
Did you feel a
why.
need to show that in this match? Did you feel the need to do that?
Not the need, but I needed the confidence because I know me and him are not much of like best friends type, but like I don't mind. I respect him and like I don't mind hanging out with him or anything else.
Mm-hmm.
But now that in this match, I pretty much took that out the window
I could see that.
because like it's either see him hold the title that I'm carrying and under my name, I want to put the legacy of my
Yeah, and
own.
I think a lot of people the last few months it's been a topic, whether when Savage was here or certainly Jake or anybody else, Tyson himself, that looked at you as the Northeast champion and almost you were struggling at times to make the transition of being
Mhm.
the guy that was the hunter to now being the hunted. So it
Mhm.
was a big moment for you this match. It was a big match. And we talked about the responsibility of being, at or near the top of the card here for a show that a lot of people watch. So I think that there's no question that it was a match that you had a lot of pressure on you, I think, because again,
I
people the
had the
last few
whole
months.
entire world looking
Yeah.
at me, seeing cuz not a lot. Okay, the legacy of the Northeast title.
Yep.
There's not too much of a handful that hold the title.
Yep.
Spade, first ever champion.
Hmm.
Um Surge, of
Savage.
course.
Savage held
Savage.
the title. Who you took it
Surge
from?
hold it for 490 days.
Yep. Over a
Savage
year.
was the one to beat Surge.
Yep.
Spade being two-time champion. It's like then there's me. I beat it from Savage.
Yeah. Who then
So
went to win back the world
which
title after that? Who won?
which
Who
won the
again
world
won the?
title.
Yeah. Oh, the
So
undisputed
like
championship, as he would say, the undisputed title. But
undisputed,
close
yeah.
enough. Yeah, close enough.
But it's like it's like starting from him saying like, okay, I want it from him. The person that wanted, the only person that could have beat Surge for, under his long, lengthy title reign. Then pops out the first ever, no wait, Leonidas, which is a
United.
former undisputed champion as
He
well.
was, and he was very
And
successful as the undisputed champion. Very successful.
then it was Tyson Spade, the first ever champion and the first
Hmm.
ever two-time champion.
Yep.
And it's like the list could go on and on.
And-
And the lineage, and I don't want to make my lineage of this title to only be known like Joestar couldn't handle being champion.
Right.
I
You
had
didn't
it
want to be somebody that was a flash in the pan, a
like
champion that was just 15
pretty
minutes of
much
type. Yeah.
because all these people pretty much there's some doubters saying that I didn't deserve it on why
Yes.
like and I some of them could be right, some of them they have their own opinion. But for me, the show for this match on what was on stake, a man's career and my
Yeah.
legacy of this title to keep it under my reign.
Yeah. I think that there's no question that your run the last few months, people were kind of waiting for the shoe to drop. They were waiting for the clock to strike midnight. But,
Mm-hmm.
obviously, what we're about to see in a few minutes is going to show that Joestar is definitely here to stay. And you're going back and forth,
Yeah,
and he's looking to put you away right now.
yeah, and and this is the funny thing, like coming back with a little bit of like people not believing in me still, because after me fighting to death against Spade, I
Literally.
could say my first match after that feud, I could say I defeated a worthy opponent,
A
which
Hall of
is Kurt,
Famer. Yep, an
Hall
NEW
of
Hall of
Famer,
Famer. Yep. Yeah.
Northeast champion for 490 days, the owner, former world undisputed champion. So
Yeah.
I beat him once, but technically it was a low blow, so it
Yeah, I
was
was even
not clean.
speaking with somebody. I won't name their name, but I was speaking with somebody a couple days ago that's involved in wrestling, independent and professional wrestling, and they knew who he was. So to beat a man like this, it's a big accomplishment. There's no question about
Mm-hmm.
that. And you're, getting
Cause I
ready
could,
to do it here. Yeah, go ahead.
cause I could officially say like this is my first real victory over Surge.
Yeah, and it's the victory that's going to put your career on the map. It's a career defining moment, as the broadcaster had mentioned during the call of the match. And after you nearly put him away prior, you finally put him away here, and there you go. And walk me through your emotions right now.
Right now, I was like, it was not like great. You know how some people black out
Yeah,
and like not
yeah,
like they black out because of they fit of rage or they just like their thoughts are going through and they go autopilot.
yeah.
Pretty much when like after that Star Slasher, I was like still until when I heard that bell. Probably when I heard the bell, I was like, I woke up a little bit, saying like, "Oh, I forgot it was for his career type thing."
Well, because you were in the moment, you were trying to
It
wrestle
was
the
like
match.
surviving. Like I needed like I was at survival mode, honestly.
Yeah, and obviously you you tried the best you could to lift him up, and
Mm-hmm.
classy, very classy gesture. Unlike the match that happened after yours, where let's just say Mr. Savage
It
was lucky
was.
his hands weren't cut off. But then again, some would say that Justin had a point on that. Maybe I'm not going to go down that road, but you and Serge didn't have that moment. Far from it. Very classy gesture, and definitely a lot of people, I think, really appreciated the fact that you guys had that sign of mutual respect, and it was a kind of a passing of the torch moment, almost, don't you think?
I can't really think that could be a passing of the torch, but it's one passing of the torch is different than just like mutual respect. Cause like I honestly, I'm gonna say right now, I can't be the next Surge. I'm
Well,
not.
there's
I'm not
only
gonna be the next
one,
Surge.
but he was a great
I
Northeast
will.
champion. But he was the
I
greatest Northeast
will.
champion, and you are the guy right now. So maybe that in itself could be labeled a passing of the torch moment.
It could, but it. I'm not a Viking of a man like Surge. I'm
Joe,
more
I
of
don't
a
think
worker
anybody would
type
confuse
man.
you of a Viking of a man. No, Joe, I
I'm
don't think
a
you would do that.
I'm a worker type man. I'm a pretty much
You're going to be
a
celebrating
common man,
four. Joe,
a
you're
Puerto
going to be
Rican common
celebrating.
man.
Joe, it's going to be like a world holiday for you with 420. I mean, listen, Serge, I don't know if he'd be doing so much of that. I know one thing, you wouldn't be on Sportswire 420. One, it's WrestleMania, and on top of that, it's 420 day. I mean, so for you, I mean, you're a different guy, but you can look at it that way or not. But obviously, it's a tremendous victory. It's certainly a career defining moment. And obviously, you're going to take this into season 7. We'll talk about that in a minute. But
Mm-hmm.
before I get to some people here in the chat, we had some season 6 awards, and you won 2 awards. You won Feud of
Yeah.
the Year with Mr. Tyson Spade, and certainly to me that was a no-brainer. That was an easy one. I think I voted for that, and I have no doubt that that's going to probably be the Feud of the Year. I think in underground wrestling for my Sportswire 2025 of the year. I don't even think anything could top that. No chance. I mean, there'll be some close ones, but I don't think anybody can touch that with a candle at the moment. And then you were also fan favorite of the year. So what did it mean
Yep.
to you to win those awards?
It was pretty much a surprise like last year because last year I didn't thought I was gonna be a lot of people's picks as
Yeah.
rookie of this season because I I was new I bet nobody would have pretty much like seeing a new person and like get an award that quickly because I thought I haven't earned it yet. And this time of year, I'm I appreciate the people voting for me because like I'm grateful and I'm pretty much stoked that I could put this on my resume saying like people believe in me, people pretty much love seeing me in
Yeah,
this
I say it
dream
all the
belt.
time. You're one of my favorites. I got Darkron, the host of the Dark Chronicles here, the Underground OG, and he's certainly a man that I think very highly of, a man that was here to help build the platform. Sean Jovi, who was here last night, who certainly had plenty to say in his own. Maybe he had his own Joestar moment last night with Omen Black. And, you're right up there with those guys. There's a certain affinity that I think that you have with the people. And I think here with this platform. And, I could see why you won those votes. And I think that you and Spade, I think there's no question what the two of you,
Oh yeah,
did.
and the
There's
views
no question.
because like I know fan favorite is different, but at least for this one, oh man, feud of the season. I had
Yeah.
to show people like I had to show what I could do and what I could pretty much show them what's more my style. Like, don't push me to a limit, cause like if you
Mhm.
push me to a limit, you might regret it, or you might see a little crazy side of
Well,
me.
you know what? You definitely showed that. And before I get to the chat, speaking of things that you might want to show to the audience here, I understand you also received something that's almost kind of like an award. And I was wondering if you might want to show that here for us. I'm going to actually show my screen that we can show it for the audience. And I understand you have something you want to
Uh,
show that you've received, apparently, I hear.
so I received an art piece from a person I could pretty much call my fan,
Wow.
Lamont Jackson.
I know Lamont. Yes, I know Lamont very well.
He
Yep.
he sent me a frame of a
Wow.
painting that he did for me versus Javi Kent.
Oh, yes, I know Javi. Yes, I know Javi very well. Yep.
I honestly, when he first sent me the first photos of like him making this artwork for me, and he has a lot of artwork for me, and like I'm honestly, I'm still surprised because like when it came to the mail, I'm like, wow, like
Yeah, that's really good. I mean, that's really cool that he did that. That's a really
and
that's
you
a very
know,
nice gesture that he gave.
maybe sooner or later, maybe I'll send something back. I know it's gonna worth a lot.
Well, it's 420. Maybe you send him something. Can you send that in the mail?
I'm a Oh, I don't know if I can send that, but I know it's gonna be something better. It's something better,
Well, that'd
and
be cool.
I could send I could send the other one for you. I'll
No,
just
well, send it to keep it for you, Joe. I mean, listen, as much as I'm gonna give you something in exchange and instead in a few minutes. So that's
no,
that's a cool gesture. Thank you, Lamont. Lamont is I see Lamont. He's liked some of my posts, and he's seen my
he's
stuff on Instagram. He's a good dude.
yeah, I can pretty much say that he's chill, honestly. And
Yeah.
every single time that he makes a new work or he starts the progress of a different look at that, like
Yeah.
it's so cool that have somebody do that for you.
Very
And
cool.
I
Joe.
can't appreciate
Yeah.
it more than what I am right now. I'm just like, it's good to do something like have people love what you do.
Yes, absolutely. Joe, it reminds me of years ago there was a girl that I used to hang out with, and she actually drew a picture of me, but I like a
Oh,
dunce.
oh,
Yeah, like a dunce. I should have went out with her, but I wanted to go out with her friend, and she was trying to show a signal that
saying
that
like
was
yeah.
I like you, and I like a dunce was trying to go with her friend, but meanwhile, yeah, that didn't end well. So, good news for you, Joe, is you don't have that same problem. I had that
No.
same problem, and yeah, that didn't go as well as planned. But good thing for you, Joe, is that Lamont is definitely a fan that really does a lot and fantastic drawings. You can check out his
Yeah.
Instagram page. I'm going to put the Instagram plug up for people in the chat. You want to check him out? This is his Instagram. You can follow him right here. I put it in the chat. So check him out. He's got a lot of stuff, a lot of drawings, a lot of cool stuff. He's got some NEW others. I think Jake's in there. I think a lot of other great drawings. So definitely check it out. And yeah, I always wanted to learn how to draw, but I'll just draw some comments here for you. So let's get to that. Let's certainly get into some of the people. We'll do that now. Zilla is the first person here. Why am I not
Of
surprised?
course,
I saw
Zilla.
Zilla in the ROEW stream, and she would like to say hello. Thank you very much.
Going on, Zilla?
I'm gonna get to this guy. We're gonna get to him in a
Torres
little while. I'm
Banks.
gonna get to him in a little while. He's gonna definitely be a topic.
What's going on, big man?
But I wanted to ask you about this person that
They
came on
makes
my
it
platform a
telling me
couple of
Lyra
weeks ago,
Limber is enough.
Lyra Limber. Lyra Limber, who's
Oh,
going to
the
be a part of
Meltzer.
season 7. What's your thoughts on Lyra Limber here?
I last time that I saw him coming to the interview, and I kind of heard something about my
Said
name
said
mentioned
a
here
few
and
things
there.
about you. Said a few things about you, and I mean,
I'm gonna have to wait and see until he comes through season 7 to see what he got. So,
yeah.
and he's gonna see what I got, because of course, if he's coming to NEW, of course he's gonna be seeing the one and only.
But he's Puerto Rican. You're Puerto Rican. I mean, is there something to it? Who's the better Puerto Rican wrestler? Who means more to the
It could
country, to the native land? What do you think on that?
it could be a fight war, or it could be a tag teaming, because Puerto Ricans do stick with Puerto Ricans, but
And you've had history being a
I,
tag team champion in NEW with Justin. I mean,
yeah, yeah.
maybe you want
So
to target Shima and Kuma for those tag belts.
yeah, so uh, whatever comes through, I'll season 7's coming next, like on what,
2 weeks.
26, 2 weeks.
2 weeks. So we have Passover weekend starts. Well, technically, Passover starts sort of now, and it goes into next Sunday, and then Easter
So
is also on Sunday. So
I'll see what they have in store, because when they come to the company, I'm gonna be looking at them, seeing like what they have in store,
for sure.
because once in a while, it's gonna be right either against you, or they're gonna be in a team with you, which you're gonna have to stick and find out which one's gonna be.
No question about that. And we'll come back to this. We'll certainly talk more about what's ahead in season 7 in a few minutes. And we are doing very well. Thank you very much. My buddy, the Tribal Cheese, who was up at 12:36 in the morning, he
Oh,
messaged me today. We were talking about some stuff overseas. Maybe we'll see him back on the platform very soon. Would like to say good evening. And he is up. He is a TikTok sensation. He's got
oh,
almost 5,000 subscribers on YouTube. Yeah, he's like a true living legend, kind of like the James Taylor of the UK. I did it all right. Although I don't know if I'm sick or it's just like the weather here is absolutely disgusting in New York. It's like 40 to, it's like we're in January. I thought we were getting like to April and shorts and a t-shirt, and it's, I don't know if
honestly,
I'm
the multiple times that the weather keeps switching off, I'm
oh
just
my
like,
goodness. Last
it's driving me
weekend I was
crazy. My nose
dude,
is pretty
last
much
weekend it was
clogged up.
75 degrees in New York. This week it's I don't even hit 40 today. It's just
My
and
nose
they're
is
playing
clogged up because
baseball
of
right
the
now.
stupid weather.
I
Honestly,
can hear it in your voice. I don't know if it's if I'm going the same where it's just allergies, but the mic can't handle the aura of the intro. Yeah, I think that I put a lot into that mic. Yeah, I put a lot into that, but I just replaced my
pretty
USB
much.
cable, and I'll have to replace it again. Thank you very much. Yeah, I like the war chant. I knew people would like the war chant. I do like it, and there is Lyra, the Puerto Rican Dream, and the Puerto Rican Punk would be one hell of a tag team. What do you think?
No, no. Like I said, we have to find out and see, because
You do.
I have to find out who, like, how is he doing the ring, and of course he's gonna see me in the ring
Well,
once in a
Lyra,
while.
it's funny you said that. Lyra is also training to be a
Hmm.
professional wrestler. Lyra was talking a lot about that a couple weeks ago on Sportswire, and That's another person that's bringing a different type of experience. Lyra is also a promo wrestler. For those that don't know what promo wrestling is, they battle and it's almost like a match without being in a ring. And Lyra brings a very interesting background here to NEW.
And so, that's why I pretty much want to keep my eyes on them because I can say, like, I don't know what he can do because, like, I
Mhm.
only know him more as a promo wrestler, not
Yes.
a real. No, I don't want to say real wrestler, but I don't want to. I want to say like, what can he do in the ring?
Well, you're going to find out. You're going to certainly find out, hopefully, starting on April the 26th when NEW
Yeah,
Vortex episodes
season
hit a
7.
YouTube channel. Yep, season 7. And I think season 7 is going to be even better than season 6 and in all previous seasons. It
Bangers after
looks
bangers, Tom. Bangers after
you know
bangers.
I'm going to be there talking about it. You know it. The world knows it. The chat knows it. And if it is the last season, NEW is going to go out with a bang and some. And I
Hell
can't
yeah.
wait to talk about it. Thank you, Torrance. And we'll be coming back to Torrance in a little while. Just stay tuned for that. I didn't know if I was the perfect lullaby for 3-month-olds. I would think I would be the opposite of that, but apparently somebody thinks that was good. But yeah, I hope it'll be lit. I apparently have the legendary band Kicks on Monday on Sportswire, a band that had a
Oh,
hit. They sold 1 million records with an album. They just had their last show in the M3 Pavilion in Maryland. It had like 15,000 people. They were charging $4,000 a ticket for their last show, and they're hard rock and heavy metal legends, and they're coming onto the platform. And twice I've been featured in blabbermouth.net, which is the heavy metal version of Rolling Stone, and we'll probably do it a third time. So I want to thank the band and Red String Music, their management, that contacted me and wanted to talk with them. We're going to have Brian Damage Forsythe, the
nice.
guitarist of the band, so I'm excited, and thank you for that. And it is a great time to bring the list up. This is where I'm going to actually agree with Brent. So this list, everybody's been talking about it. Kuma even made a comment on Instagram about it with you being around tonight. So, like, what is next with this list? You beat Surge, you got season 7. So, oh, he's got. Wait a minute, is he pulling out the list again? Oh my God, he's got it. Wait, crumbling it. No, 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 no. You're supposed to have more names on the list. You've crumbled the list. So what happened?
So basically, I got what I wanted.
You had like 500 names on there. We could have did like 2 more hours on Sportswire. Last one with us. You got what you wanted?
Yes,
Say
Tom. You know
again?
why?
Why?
So the people that make this clear. The list.
Yeah.
The list meant nothing. But you
Whoa,
know
whoa,
what,
whoa,
dude?
whoa. Time out, to quote Zach Morris. Time out. You made a whole big spiel about this list last month on Sportswire. Now it don't mean nothing?
You know
Say
why?
again?
It doesn't mean nothing. It's because it's a piece of paper. But
Yeah, but you wanted
but
to
the
wrestle everybody
one
on it, though.
important thing is
Yeah.
the intention that I
You
had.
said you wanted to try different styles. You wanted to wrestle Mikey Anarchy. You
Yep.
talked about GTS. You
Yep.
talked about Rad Dad. You talked about so many names. We could have been here for days.
Which is why I'm not gonna stop. I'm still gonna do those things. Don't
But you
worry.
just crumbled the list up,
But
though.
you know why?
Why?
Multiple people after I named the list, the attention from all around the world.
You did get a lot of attention for that.
Shock
We're,
confirmed.
we're,
Me versus Shock. He was on my list.
yes, he
Right in
was.
the ring too. It's me versus him. That
Yes,
was the first
yes, yes,
attention.
yes.
Second attention, Angel Santiago.
Angels, who just celebrated a
Christopher
birthday not too
Blast.
long ago. Yes, yes, yes.
A lot of attention. And that was the smartest thing I could pretty much do because I bring a list. I just put some random stuff. Not random, but random order. Because I could pretty much still do them, but without anybody expecting when. So all I can say
Yeah.
is it worked for my acknowledgement. It worked because look at it right there. one of the matches that I wanted.
You did one Shockey. You did one Shockey, and you got him. You
And
got him.
there's still names that haven't been crossed off because at least there's one thing on the list that I crossed off again. So that was just only a stunt,
A
and it
stunt.
worked. And it worked.
That's almost like Bill Clinton saying that he did not have relations with that intern. Now you saying that this now was a stunt after that list, and I asked you question after question, and you were dead serious about it. But now it was all a stunt. I guess I've seen it all here. I've seen it
Mm-hmm.
all. But forget about it, I suppose, from what you're really telling us. But you do have Shocky Boy here coming up right in the ring too, and
I
you
have.
know, yeah, well, you
And
got him.
it. Some people ask and they receive. I pretty much made a whole list of like people that I want to face one time or more. It could be whichever way. And then, those are still my goals. No, make no mistakes. Those do mean something to me, but the list, nah. The achievements to have, is always gonna be in here. It's
Yeah.
always gonna be in here.
Okay. Well, I mean, if you say so, Joe, that it was all a stunt and it was almost a gotcha. Just kidding. I'll take your word for it. I don't know if Shocky is gonna feel the same way, but you drew him in the
No,
right
it's
in the ring too.
not really like oh, I just made this to like waste everybody's time. I just got people's attention. They
You
say,
did.
"Hell
I'll
yeah,
tell you
let's
that.
do
You
this."
definitely got people's attention. You did.
So
I'll give you that, Joe. You got
that's
attention.
blood.
Oh,
Red makes green in some ways, but there's other ways you can make green. So
well, you got some attention. I'll give you that. And yeah, Joe has actually been killing it a lot. He does have an electric heart, and he is getting better and better. I don't know still
thank
why.
you.
He said it was all just a stunt for the list, but I'll take it. The lovely Athena is here from the great state of Pennsylvania. This
Oh,
beautiful woman is here. Yeah, this hottie is here, but thank you for tuning in. And hopefully she'll bless us here more on the screen. Hit the sub button for NEW. Uh, there he is, the man, the myth, the one and only Mr. Tyson Spade.
of
Just
course.
hello there, Joe, your biggest rival to date, the man that you
Yeah.
won Food of the Year with.
Congratulations, by the way,
Oh, that was very nice of you. And speaking of people, by the way, I noticed that you wrestled somewhere.
Mr. Dvorak.
The man that you wrestled, he showed up to your neck of the woods. I noticed.
Mm,
What do you say about that?
surprised me. He
Yeah,
really did. I
how'd that
didn't
make you
thought he was
feel?
gonna
How'd it make
surprised.
you?
I could pretty
Yeah,
much say surprised. I could say that I kind of really not a bit too much that I could chew, but um, in a way, like he surprised me. There was a hell of a match, me and him. Um, he won, so we're 1-1 between each other. So
so is that a sign of things to come? Since he did say here on Sportswire a few weeks ago that he wanted the winner of you and Serge. So if he beats you here, I guess that means 2-1 is going to be for Jake coming up. Or what do you think?
I guess in the way how it is, yeah. Like now, I can't say that I got the upper hand on him
And he
now.
didn't even say hello to you, by the way. You noticed that he didn't even say hello to you, sir.
No, and I can understand that because he's coming for what I want that I have. Because
And
like
he's got a new DHC like we've never seen him and Justin with Rhea. This might be the most lethal trio we've ever seen in history.
yeah, no, and I don't blame him because coming after the title that he's never had held is kind of like, okay, maybe not, and he has a proof saying like, okay, I beat him once. Now I could beat him again,
Yeah.
type deal.
And he's not a fan of you recently. He has not been a fan of
No,
you recently, and he's
so
obviously disappointed that you defeated the Surge, even though he's had his own issues with Surge. But he'd rather have seen the Surge win than you, and now he's going to
maybe
take that out on you.
I think there's two ways of thinking. I guess like one, is maybe he is mad that I beat Surge
And that was
because
quite a
there's
cannonball there he just did.
yeah, and like I was saying, probably he hates it because I did it instead of him putting Surge away. Maybe because
Yeah, you can say that. Fair point.
then the title that I can have. It's pretty much saying like, okay, I want that title.
Well, he's
And
coming for you, and he's got Justin and Rhea with him, and
yeah,
Zero and Surge are out of the group, and it's a new landscape in NEW, figuratively and literally, and maybe your days are numbered as Northeast champion because what Jake Dvorak is doing to you in NWE, he's going to want to do that tenfold in NEW starting at season 7 Vortex episode, which will come out on April the 26th, 2 weeks from tomorrow. So we'll have to see there. And
yeah.
hello to Jake. Yeah, go ahead.
I could pretty much say like it's an even stalemate now because like
The rubber match is going to decide it. Yeah.
I first beat him, then he beat me, then you know now we're waiting on the third rubber match,
The rubber
even
match.
though
Yeah.
it's in a different company, but it's still like this is the second time that we face against each other now.
Yeah, and he's not gonna be kind to you like he was a few months ago. He is
No,
gonna make you pay. He's gonna make you be punished for what you've done because he wanted to be the one that ended the career of the juggernaut NEW Power Surge, and you're gonna pay for this. You are going to pay.
and now that I see how he's been going around, like is a different person that I known of.
Yeah.
Because
Well,
I met Jake Matthews.
right,
Now
and
that
you have
he
Jake Dvorak,
changed,
but he's gonna say that you're also a different Joestar from the one he first met because you have certainly gone about things differently as well.
in a way, I guess, yeah. Because I all I can say is me and him one more time. I know he's coming for me because like I know he's really gonna try to take that title away, and as much as he wants the title, it's not gonna happen easily.
No,
Not
no,
gonna
it's
happen
not.
easily
Yeah.
because with the legacy that I'm still holding on to the title under my names, under the people that I competed against. I'm not gonna pretty much say like, okay, now that I'm here, people thought that I was down here after my sink or swim situation. Now that I
Yeah.
beat Surge and had that accolade under my name, it's like
Yeah.
I have to keep going now. I
Yeah,
have to
I think
like
that there,
stay
there's
that way.
there's a point to that. No, I think that that's a fair point. I think that obviously I'm gonna have Jake on here before the season starts, and I'm gonna get his perspective on that, and we're gonna find out. We'll for the interest of time, go into some of the comments. We'll keep the matchup on because you are trying desperately here to beat Jake Dvorak, and you might want to try a lot more and maybe pray to the gods here, but. Thank you very much for that. Yeah, we talked about this comment already. Season 7 trailer going out. We will play the trailer in a couple of minutes. Thank you for that for management. And a new character unlocked, Methodical Joe. That's a good one because you did seem
Yeah.
very more methodical. And the legendary Dark Crown we mentioned. And there you go. I just mentioned it right there. And just what we're about to see. Yeah, we're going to see the new Northeast champion, maybe. Savage quit, Surge quit, but you know who didn't quit? Jake Dvorak. It is a different landscape here in NEW. We have no more Savage, no more Surge. Lyra Limber is a part of the company. You are now one of the veterans in the company, and I think it's going to be very interesting to see what happens here. And yeah, it's going to come out, and Tyson Spade is going to be a part of things. And I'm surprised he was able to name the amount of people he did. Well, you said it was all a stunt, so what can I say? Well, obviously, we're not struggling here with comments, but that's a good thing. And hit the sub button for our friends in NEW. Appreciate that. Who else? We got Instagram Joestar. Do that. Do that. Instagram Lamont. Thank you, Lamont. And I represent Puerto Rico better than Limber or JoJo. So there you go. There you go. So
Yeah,
obviously,
try to go down there. Maybe you can't even survive a day.
well, right now he's saying the last time you and him were in a ring, he pinned you. So that might be why he feels as the way
May
he does.
Like I
And
said in that chat, or in the same way that I said in that promo, Tom. I know for right now it's not over, but right now we're doing better things for
well,
our
right
career.
now you're wishing that you could have done better things with Jake Dvorak, and I definitely agree that season 7 is one I am very excited about, and you should be too. And speaking of the new champ is here, and good evening, my family. I guess everyone else is here. Yeah, your former tag team partner is obviously seeing things a different way, and it's gotten him to the promised land. And, some people, I would have to say, really can't blame him for what he did to Savage, because Savage did draw him to a state that really he had no choice to do what he had to do. I mean, I'm very eager to see what he says here coming up in 2 weeks. I think that's going to be really interesting to see what happens.
Mm-hmm.
Abram Storm is here. Thank you, Abram. They're getting ready for some stuff here in CSW. And we're going to get to that soon. You just wait for that. You're
Mm.
surprised that you had a hell of a match against my brother. What did you think he was? Joe has, see, I told you, Joe has half a brain, so I'm not surprised with what comes out of his mouth. That's Steiner math for you. That's the Steiner math.
Yeah, pretty much.
How you doing? I'm not mad that you beat Surge. Surge was too afraid to face me, so he faced you instead.
Mm.
Well, we'll have to see. Tom's spitting facts here, Joe. You should announce now that you give up that title. Do you want to give up the Northeast Championship? Do you want to retire? You want to, end on a high? It's some people do that. We have kicks coming on Monday, right? In the band, their last show. People all the time struggle. When should it be the final match? Shawn Michaels reneged on his word. Ric
If
Flair, I mean, he still wants to wrestle out there. I mean, do you want to maybe end your career tonight? Is that maybe that's why the list was all a stunt? You're going to tell us tonight here in prime time that it's been a great career, it's been a great run, and you're going to go into commentary.
Tom, that doesn't sound bad. You know why?
Why?
Because that's a quitter mentality, and
Yeah.
you could pass that to the next person because
Well,
for me,
Savage and Surge
I
left. I mean,
am
maybe
no
you're
quitter.
next. No?
I will not give up that title because I know I'm going to still fight to the end, even if it kills me, because I already had one person try that out and that didn't went well with him. Now, I went against Surge. He put his career on the line. I ended his career. Did I want to? No. Did I
Well, let's
have
not
to?
call you the.
Yes.
Do you want to be called the career killer, the legend killer? I mean,
I don't
let's hope.
want to be.
Let's hope you don't be called the company killer of NEW, because if
Hopefully
this is the
not.
last season, you better not be. You better. Maybe that's why you should retire
I
now.
need.
Maybe that's what they're saying.
I need to finish what I have in mind.
You do?
My goals, my legacy, and I'm not gonna be dropping out like in the
No.
last season as a
No.
quitter.
All
I
right. Well,
never quitted. I will never quit. And if people want me to quit, then I'll see you down the road because I'll prove to you why I don't quit.
you're too legit to quit.
I'm
Maybe
too.
you're too.
I'm a fighter, Tom.
I thought
If
you were
I
a
have
lover, though. Didn't you
something,
say you were a lover last time?
I was a lover, but
You said you were
if
a
you're a
lover,
lover,
Joe.
if you're a lover, then you have to fight for what you love for, Tom.
But you
That's a
said you were a
lover.
lover last month. Now you're a fighter,
A
Joe.
lover. If you don't know how to fight, Tom, if then how can you fight for the thing that you love?
I don't
That's
know how to
love
do any.
right
Joe,
there.
I think I'm going to retire tonight, and I'm going to announce my retirement and let you take over Sportswire, because you seem to know exactly what the
Tom,
people
I
want.
don't
I'm
think
ready to
that's gonna be
retire.
a good idea. You know why?
Why?
Everybody's gonna be asking what I'm saying.
That's why we need you to be here so I can go move on because the viewership will go up with you. There'll be more guests. There'll be more coverage of NEW. I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go. And Jake is
Nah,
ready to take
Tom,
the
you're
title
too
from.
more. You're more than what I could be,
I
honestly.
don't know about that, but yeah, the riot in the ring is about to be fired. Maybe Abram Storm will be there. Who knows? That was a boogie. And speaking of people, Anthony Steele is here. I'm not.
Oh,
IMF was yesterday. We're not giving him a microphone. I won't remind you what he said yesterday, but he talked about burning a man's heritage and he wanted to do that in front of the mother. Yeah, we're not going to go there, Joe. I know you are a lover. You really deep down are a lover. You are a lover deep down. And yes, Spade wants you to retire. There you go. And I do have somebody that maybe wants to talk to you about your retirement plans, or maybe somebody
oh,
that wants to talk to you about your future plans. Now, I don't know who this is, but I have somebody on here that wants to say hello, and maybe in a way give a receipt back to you. So only if you insist. I know obviously the list was all a stunt. To quote Nelly, it was all just a dream. That was a pretty good song once upon a time. Maybe it's time more or less to let this person come, but only if you insist. I don't want to do anything
I don't
that
mind.
we don't want this to be a stunt like previous shows here.
I don't mind.
You sure?
I'm
You
sure.
sure? You want me to do it? I can change my mind. We can go. It's
You can bring
pre-recorded.
them
Remember,
in.
it's not live. You bring him on. You sure?
You can bring them in.
You ready?
Yep.
Well, wait a minute. He is back to
Torres.
pay his receipt
Cleveland
back
Brown.
to
Oh,
Joe Star. The
Surprise!
big dog
that's a
himself,
surprise, huh? But I
Torrance
didn't thought it was gonna be
Banks.
you.
Tom, it's good to see you as always.
My man, how you been?
Joestar,
What's
Joe
going
I've
on?
been
Star.
alright. I've come to say hello as a precursor to myself. Well, and for King Shock as well. So, hello, King Shock.
Mm.
King Shock. He says hello. He cannot wait to see you at Riot in the Ring.
Oh, it's gonna be a fire time. Gonna be there. Honestly, it's just gonna be bangers. Honestly,
Are you going to be the one getting banged by Shockey, or is that going to be? Remember, you're a lover, not a fighter.
you're gonna have to see what side it's gonna be, because probably it's gonna be just wait and see. Right in the ring, me versus Shock. That's all you're gonna have to see. Waiting in June.
Torrance, I really am really happy to see you because this has to be the first someone on a bus. Anthony Steele is usually like near McDonald's or somewhere out in who the hell knows where, and you're here on the bus. I mean, this is really a cool thing to see you on the bus.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I'm legitimately on my way home.
Wow.
Oh,
Absolutely. Yeah.
Hopefully, bus service is running as much as it is, and it's great to see. Maybe you're going to take this bus through Joestar. Maybe you're here to show that the bus goes round and round, round and round. That's going to also include that Northeast Championship because the big dog. You know a lot about winning championships, and Joestar is
Mhm.
talking about his legacy. He's talking about the fact that he wants to show people that he's not a flash in the pan and he's not going to quit. But he hasn't gone in there with somebody like you. He hasn't gone in there with a former world champion like
not
yourself.
yet.
You're back in NEW,
Absolutely.
and you know what? Maybe Joe Starr should have focused more on you rather than telling everybody all these different things about him because that's why you're here to remind Joe Starr just all those things.
But Tom, the thing is this though. Joe
Yes.
Star, he did beat Power Surge, which kind of a feat in itself. Joe Star probably actually funny fact, there was a guy in red shorts and a black and red Buffalo and Wanted shirt that was in the background watching that
I
match.
did see
Yeah,
that.
you
I was
was
going to
there.
say no comment on that.
I was I was there. I was there for that
Well, I
match.
was going to
So,
say
You
let the
was.
chat have their imagination run wild on that, but you can say that
yeah.
now.
But like I said, that match was a very impressive match. He beat Power Surge, a guy I've known for a very long time, for 19. So it's like, but Joe Star, like I said, you have that list. You can check Shotzi name off that list.
I
But
have.
trust me, regardless of what happens, if Marcus doesn't step up next, I want next. I'm telling you,
Mm.
I want next. for that Northeastern Championship.
Just
Ooh.
another checklist off.
You
Honestly,
said the list was no more, though. You crumbled it up.
hey, memories, paper,
Okay.
Oh,
nothing.
oh, oh,
Hey,
A
oh.
wise,
see, attention.
one
See,
thing goes, a wise
there you
man never
go.
forgets.
That's true,
That's
too.
why I
Joestar is
have
definitely
right here
wise beyond his
people's
years,
names.
I
I'm
suppose.
still. Don't worry. I'm still gonna be watching what everybody else do. That's
Exactly. So, like
symbolism
I
of
said,
saying like symbolism of like who's like on my thoughts. That's everybody's gonna be there. For now, paper is nothing, but the list that I have there, oh, the names, the accolades, those, those are staying in my memory and shock because like that's my goals. And if nobody thinks ahead, then where they gonna be going? And honestly,
that's true.
as my rise right now, I can't because I need to fight. Even though people say retire, I'm not going down without swinging, man. I'm still there. I'm still prove myself. Why
That
I'm
is
the
true.
star of the show.
And like I said, when it comes down to it, if Vargas somehow, because I know Vargas was on that list too,
He was.
right?
And we know Vargas has been worldwide right now,
Yeah.
nationwide,
Vargas has been
countrywide.
Vargas been dealing with some boys from Texas. Let's
The
just say.
Lone Star State. He's going to show them. He's going to
Uh,
round them up. And then Joe Star, you're going to be next.
absolutely. But
I'm
the
here.
thing is, though, if Joestar can get through Shockey, then me. If he can get through me, then he can fight Vargas.
That sounds
I
to me
said
like
that.
Joe Star's
I
got
could have
long
said that.
odds.
I'll said
Those odds for Joe. I mean, he might as well play the lotto instead.
Well,
Absolutely. But like I said,
hey,
I just wanted to come by and say hi to you guys. So,
Yeah,
Joestar, you got me twice. You
Torrance
got
is
me twice.
here 3
So,
weeks from tomorrow. Torrance is back here May 5th, 9 o'clock. We're going to talk all things related to season 7 Vortex. We'll talk, obviously, our friends at home. I've been watching some of the home
absolutely.
stuff. Check them out. House of
uh,
Misfits Entertainment, Backyard Wrestling. And we'll talk a lot about the riot in the ring, too. And Torrance, get home safe. Thank you as always. And
So,
I'll see you soon.
gentlemen, have a good night, y'all boys.
Got it. That was the big dog himself, Torrance Banks. And Joe, I have somebody else that wants to pay you a visit here for a few minutes before I was gonna give you something, but apparently I have to bring on somebody else. Now only if you insist.
yeah, no, of course.
You sure? Because maybe
Sure.
there's people tonight that have you on their list that they want to interrupt and say something to you.
Yeah, I bet you
Yeah?
could let them through. Yeah.
You sure you want to let them in? It's not Anthony Steele because last night, like I said, I don't know if we want to go down that road, but I do have somebody here that wants to say something to you. And wait a minute! My goodness!
Okay.
It is the
Okay.
newest member of the NEW roster, the Puerto Rican punk Lyra Limber meets the Puerto Rican dream, Joe Star. My friend, how are we doing?
We're doing good. We're doing good. I will say this: I've been studying up. I've been doing my tape studies of NEW, and definitely Joestar is definitely one that caught my eye.
You talked
Mhm.
about him a couple weeks ago on here, and now you get a chance to meet him.
Yeah,
Yeah. Fine.
indeed. Joe, how you doing?
Uh, I'm fine. I'm fine.
Yeah,
I'm still 6 feet top.
two
I'm
feet,
walking.
six
I'm living.
footers. That's
I'm
crazy.
living.
You're living?
Hmm.
Yeah,
That's good. That's good.
Yeah.
You want to
yeah.
keep living? Because Lyra Limber's here, and Lyra Limber might tell you something else.
Nah. Matter of fact, Joestar, I have a proposition for you, and I'm
Oh.
just throwing it out there. Just throwing it out there. The Puerto Rican punk and the Puerto Rican dream. Just saying.
You guys go one on one? I mean, that could
No,
be a good idea. Battle of Puerto Rico?
not what I'm thinking.
No?
Not what I'm thinking. I'm thinking.
What are you thinking?
I'm thinking. I'm thinking something like that. A tag team. Just saying.
Oh,
I make the fans happy.
Shima and Kuma have those championships, and maybe they won't be able to hang on to them.
Keep it in the back of your mind, man.
Mm. Joe has held tag team gold before in NEW.
It's not
He's
like
got
I
a,
can't win them
and he's
again.
got a long history with Kuma and Chima. A long, long history with those two.
Yeah.
And
Wow.
I'll just like you said, I'll think about it.
Something to think about, definitely.
Yeah.
The Punk and the Dream could be pretty powerful, just saying.
Woo! That could be quite a thing there.
It
I'm excited.
could.
I'm excited to see you at Vortex, man. April
Oh, I
20th.
can't wait. I got to tell you, NEW, let me tell you something. NEW, the last couple of months here has just been unbelievable. It's like
It's on the
we've been saying,
skyrise.
it's just, I mean, you got to watch everything literally about NEW. That's a great segue because while we're both here, let's play the NEW trailer while we have a minute because you got to definitely check it out because the new season premiere trailer of Vortex season 7 is out. I'm going to put that up right now on the YouTube screen so people can go check that out because it's definitely something you most certainly want to check out. I can assure you that is definitely what you want to see. It's just going to be even better what NEW has to offer. So I'm going to put it up here for those that are listening and watching. And is the music copyrighted, or do I need to put the volume down for the music? But
I think volume down for
volume down,
instruction.
yeah, because I got Kicks on Monday, and they sold 1 million plus. So if I don't think I can, I don't want to get thrown off the air. But let's play it. Let's get rock, baby, and let's show it. Here we go. NEW.
I don't like this guy very much.
You don't like him? Why not? He's the champion, though. Shouldn't you want to, pay your respects and say hello to him? Oh boy, well, who's that guy?
He looks pretty
Oh,
familiar.
copyright free. We'll play it. Are we sure it's copyright free? Well, we're gonna try it anyway. Oh, who is that person? I know who that is.
I didn't know they got pink hair transplants.
Oh, there we go.
Man.
Wow, movie like. Oh, that's gonna hurt. My time. Yeah, I'm into it. I agree. And there you were, Joe.
This
Maybe that's your retirement announcement here.
you have to wait and find out.
I'll be there. And what a trailer! We just saw Lyra Limber and Joestar a part of that. Yeah, that was interesting. That was movie like. Whoever put that together should win an Academy Award or maybe a Grammy. But we'll leave that to figure out who that might have been. But that was impressive. I can't wait to watch.
Season 7.
It's coming.
Season 7. That's
It's coming.
I can't wait.
Yeah,
Can't wait for season 7 to come
you're gonna
through.
be there. It looks like you're both gonna be there.
Oh, of course. But this season is gonna be way, way different than season 6. Of course.
Yeah. Well, that's where you're going to announce your retirement, right? In season 7.
Boo.
Well, I saw a lot of things that are different, but we'll have to find out and watch. I mean, we don't know what they're like. Yeah. And Spade would like to say, unfortunately, both of them will be there and are currently here. Yeah, well, they'll be here for a little while longer, but we're excited about the season here. I mean, Joe, you've got the people here; they want you, and maybe you should bring the list back then.
Hoping I don't.
Oh man, everybody loved what happened with the list.
It was a great thing. It made for a lot of people's days. It made them feel good. It made them feel like they've accomplished something.
Yeah.
And yeah, DHC is going to be whooping you. Apparently, they'll be whooping you. You're going to be going into the insane asylum. You'll
Well,
be insane in the membrane if you go against them. DHC, don't try it against 420. Resident Evil Sane, gonna take you down. You won't be able to enjoy that doobie with Kuma and Shiva. Well, we're gonna leave it at that. We don't want to do any further. But obviously, yeah, maybe you might want to have a change of plans.
yeah. Ah,
How excited though are you guys before we close the show out? How excited though are you guys both to get back out there and be a part of this season coming? How excited are you both?
I like that.
every season is just like, how can we outdo last season? That's my
Yeah.
mentality. And,
Yeah.
having fun out there, doing what we just do is like, there's nowhere else that has the same feeling. That's
Yeah.
just like being there every single month, working day in, day out just to provide matches and segments.
I agree with that. You guys do have a
That's
special bond, to break the fourth wall. You guys do have a special bond that I think that a lot of people are going to be excited to see the content and what's to come, and we'll see if you two actually. I don't know what the future will be with that, but you know, anything else you guys want to talk about here tonight? Anything else that we should discuss or important to the two of you?
I wanted to give my thoughts on my in-ring debut being at NEW.
Let's talk about it.
First off, I want to say that I'm extremely honored for the opportunity. I will give you my heart, I will give you my soul, and I will show y'all that I am ready to go. And I have a bit of a chip on my shoulder being mentored by the likes of Dijak and
You
Anthony G.
talked about it here, and certainly TPW coming back at it. You're in action this week in TPW, so
Oh yeah, yeah,
you
yeah.
are. You do come from a different perspective. We were talking about you a little while ago, and that you add something different because you're being trained, in a pro wrestling, a very, very respected pro wrestling company, and you've obviously come from TPW, which is Anthony Steele was here, somebody you know very well. So TPW is very, very well known, and you bring something really different to the company. I think that'll be really exciting for people to see. Those of us that know you from TPW, I think you're going to bring tenfold to NEW here in 2 weeks.
Absolutely. And I'm gonna best to absolutely make y'all proud. That's for sure.
I think all of you in the company are going to make a lot of people proud, and if you'd like to follow NEW, I really appreciate if you give them a sub and hit the sub button for them. Well, I put the YouTube link up here, but also thank you to Lamont Jackson Drew, the photo or painting of Joestar, a number of different things. So check that out. Lyra is also on Instagram. Let me plug Lyra on Instagram here before I make the hockey line change here for you Massachusetts people, but let's do that here. Lyra Limber is on Instagram, so check out Lyra. There you go. Here's Lyra on Instagram. And give Lyra a follow. And also the former TPW hardcore champion, but also now a part of the NEW roster. So definitely we appreciate our friends in NEW. And there we're going to change that link because I have to go like this. And there you go. That's much better. Yes, please support Lyra. Please support all of our friends in NEW and also TPW. Rocky's back here next Saturday, by the way, right before WrestleMania. Lyra, Rocky is back. Rocky's going to have plenty to say, so that's going to be exciting. But in the meantime, give Lyra a follow on Instagram and also check out NEW. There's the link. Check that out. And yeah, I can't wait for the season. But Joe, I actually have something for you. And no, it's not a guest. No, it's not. Something where you're going to be surprised. I do have something for you, though, that I'm going to give you. And no, it's not Anthony Steele on here to shoot on you for 20 minutes. And no, it's well, now he would love to be here, but obviously after yesterday, we'll let him think about what he's going to do tomorrow to Illa Drago. We'll bring him back after that, I'm sure. And he'll have plenty to say. He'll say that's what I do. And Lyra's got plenty of history with Anthony. But I think, Joe, you've certainly been, quite a member here on the platform these past 7 or 8 months, and we've enjoyed you being here. And I think the time is certainly now to obviously do something for you in exchange. So, Joe Star, congratulations! You are the 116th member of the Sportswire Radio Hall of Fame, and the floor is yours. And congratulations! You joined the Hall of Fame, and no, not the list. It's actually you personally. And there you have it, champ.
116th member of the Hall of Fame. Thank you, Tom. I pretty much appreciate everything that you've given me here in this platform, spreading my information around, like what am I doing, like how am I continue progressing on, like from what I started to how I am right now. I sincerely want to give you thanks, everything for what you've done for me and everything that I contribute to this sport and to this community. All wrestling matters. Like
It does.
it's always a good thing to be in this sports channel because talking to you, Tom, unbelievable. You always give me a good chance to be
Yes, I do.
here.
I do like Joe. You are right there with Jovi and Darkron. You're right there. I say it all the time. You're
Hall of Famer.
yep.
And this is for myself because like I know multiple times you've been calling me a Hall of Famer since you gave NEW one last time, and I
I did.
didn't felt like I deserved it because it's the team effort, not only me. But now I could pretty
Well,
much
Lyra's going to
say
join you soon enough, but well, for now you're in the Hall of Fame. But no, you definitely deserve it, and you definitely worked
thank you.
hard. You put the work in, and I think good things will happen to those that put the work in. That's what I was always told, and I appreciate NEW. I really, really appreciate all of you.
Honestly, Tom, I'm still like I, I'm just grateful, Tom.
You
I'm
are
pretty much
well.
always grateful for what you doing for me.
Yeah.
I is always I appreciate it, Tom.
I,
Is
I'm very grateful for you too, Joe. We love you, Joe, here on Sportswire. We appreciate everybody here in NEW, and we've been very fortunate to have some success in the mainstream world. And I say all the time, it's companies like NEW have helped us get to Doug Pinnick and Randy Jackson and Rhino, Savio Vega, and the one and only Mr. Brian Damage Foresight on Monday. So congratulations, Joe. I'll give you the physical copy, but there is somebody else that did want to pay their respect and congratulate you on being in the Hall of Fame. And only if you'd let me, we have somebody here that wants to thank you for everything you've done and wants to congratulate you for just everything you've done and putting NEW and putting this sport and putting Puerto Rico on the map here in the underground. So would you like me to be able to bring on this person that just wants to say congratulations and just say thank you for everything that you've done for this sport, everything you've done for Puerto Rico, everything that you have done for NEW representing us in that Northeastern Championship. Would you like me to be able to bring on this good person that wants to thank you personally?
sure, Tom. I'm a lot of surprises during honestly like
The
everything
fans
is
love you.
great.
The people want to talk to you. They want to talk to Joestar. I mean, you are a man. People were eagerly anticipating you coming here tonight. So let me bring this person, let me bring this fan on who wants to thank you for everything you've done and representing Puerto Rico and just NEW in the Northeast Championship. And wait a minute, that's not a fan. That is
Whoa,
Tyson Spade, the man who pinned
Joe.
Joestar last time. I'm taking it away.
Of
Oh, Jojo,
course.
you're finally catching up. You're finally accomplishing 1% of what I accomplished in my entire career. Good job. Good job finally getting something after like what 20 appearances that I did in like my first time here.
Technically, I think you've been on here. Yeah, like I would say a lot, maybe 10.
Oh, hello Limbo. Nice to meet you. I don't
That
know
was
why we let you join NEW. We let actual wrestlers. We don't just do promos, but
that's
I
a
would
manager.
wish you luck.
Yeah, I'm sure
But
manager will answer that.
I don't listen.
Of
I'm
course.
just glad between the two of you, we now have finally two people to go send to work at Taco Bell.
Diablo, que mucho tú hablas, pendejo.
So, what did you mean? You're gonna have Yokiro Taco Bell?
I'm sending them to work there.
Oh, I
Yeah,
like the nacho. I do like the nacho fries and the Baja Blast. Give
they
me a
know how to make it.
Baja Blast large and nacho fries.
You hear the order? Get to work, you two.
No, please don't stay on the platform. But I do like the Baja Blast and the nacho fries. I have to say, Baja Blast really. I give Taco Bell a lot of credit for that. But something tells me that you guys aren't going to be delivering Taco Bell to the rest of the roster during
I
more
hope so.
episodes.
They can finally do something useful.
I like the quesadillas, but I have to say the quesadilla was good. By the way, I did try that a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, did you guys make that yourself or?
We don't want to get canceled on the after
So,
last night's
my
Anthony
apologies.
Steele appearance. Yeah, we'll leave it at that because Anthony Steele last night talked about burning a man's heritage and doing it in front of the mother of his children. Yeah, Anthony Steele went off the rails, then came back on here and talked about that's what I do, and then he just said things that I would say that maybe any company would maybe want to think twice about.
I won't get your show canceled, Tom. I
Well, no,
just
it's
came to
okay.
talk. It's my favorite person, Little Jojo. You know,
Yeah,
I
you know
had
what?
to
Do you
talk
think
to
you
him.
guys will be seeing each other more in season 7?
I hope
I
not.
think it's the feud of the year in wrestling. By the way,
It
I'm
is.
going to give it.
It's a great feud.
It was
I
great.
hope I
Damn
never have to
great
see
it
him
was.
again.
I agree with that. There's no question.
But I never want to see him again. Like,
Oh, so maybe
That's
you
the
guys
only
will see
thing
each
that
other.
I could agree on.
we're finally we're getting along.
Well,
Finally
the good
on
news is
the
right
only thing
now
I
you
could
guys
agree
aren't
on
going to
with
get
you.
arrested and go to jail. I mean, that's
Oh,
the good.
but you don't know that. Like, can't.
Yeah, I'd rather.
See, one of us can make the bail. I can afford it. He can't. So he shouldn't get arrested tonight.
Oh well, that's you know what. Save this. No comment. I'm gonna say no because I'm gonna say something about Taco Bell, and I don't think we want to do that because I do
Yeah,
want to stay on the air.
of
Yeah,
course.
Fade, make sure you don't get arrested for shoplifting Wheaties. See y'all.
And
What does that
that
mean?
was that.
What
Lyra Limber just walked off and flipped off. I think Tyson Spade, and I think the rest
for
of us here. Why I don't know.
for a
I mean,
promo wrestler? I thought they would have a better line.
Lyra had taken a sabbatical in TPW, but is back in TPW, and Lyra now is going to be in NEW, and I guess we'll have to see some of that TPW crossover work in NEW. I guess that was that, and yeah, that was one that we'll talk about that, I'm sure, and yeah, Joe, who knows? Who knows? Speaking
No,
of promo wrestlers and wrestlers and other companies, yeah, you just missed Lyra Limber basically flipping everybody off and saying goodbye and
What a
happy
punk!
420 day.
no.
Yeah, well, I guess that was interesting. Yeah, that people are now like, what just happened? Well, you never know what you get, but Joe, I
Yeah.
will say congratulations to you. And
Thank you, Tom.
you guys want to say anything else before we say sayonara?
I have one thing to say actually.
Yes, you could say 10.
Of course.
Okay, Joestar, you still suck.
You swallowed, bitch.
Wait, and boy, he just left Joe. They came on here one by one, and they didn't even say congratulations. They just left. Just left
You know,
Joe.
hey, I really don't need people congratulating me. At least the real people will know. Like, hey, they will say it to say like congrats and everything else. But I really don't really need anybody
No.
to, you know, like everybody has their own opinion. It is what it
Yeah, well,
is.
that one guy, Anthony Steele, would always say everybody's got opinions like a-holes, and everyone has one. Well, um, that may or may not be so. I'd like to think that we'll figure that at a different time. But Joe, you are the newest member of the Sportswire Radio Hall of Fame. Congratulations. Thank you to our
Thank
friends in Blood and Honor Wrestling for tuning in, and check out their new episode coming up next Thursday. But maybe it's a good time to end on a high note. And, figuratively and literally, you'll definitely be doing a couple of things on 420 to celebrate that. But
Yep.
until then, you have any closing thoughts? Anything else you want to share, or anything else that we should know about before we do put this show to maybe bed and maybe the list to bed or for good permanently? Or you have any final thoughts for us tonight on this show?
Well, first off, support NEW. Go
Yeah.
watch our
Amen.
videos, subscribe, and see what's gonna be coming in on season 7. Everybody don't wanna miss this season because I know this season will be more banger than the last season, and more banger than the last season. How it was like it. We're straight shooting to the top right now.
Yeah.
We're pretty much need the support of everybody, but at the same time, I know our support in NEW are not that, I could say that they really watch us and they know what they're going to expect from NEW, which always subscribe to them. Subscribe to my Instagram right here. Oh,
And you'll see this, which I still don't know why I just saw
Gabe, you
that.
little fucker. I can't even
Yeah.
relax and eat my own meal, and pretty much he stole my phone and just like pretty much
Well, when I met him,
Still
he didn't
quote
do
unquote.
that. I met him, he didn't do that, but he apparently did that when you met him. Who knew?
Uh, but that's my Instagram page.
Yeah. That's
There's
not
a
who he is.
link.
That's Gabe Sayers. This is Joe Star's
There's a
Instagram.
link right there to see where else I'm at. I'm in TikTok. I have a YouTube. Subscribe to anywhere that's in that place. There's my channel. Whatever I be doing on my highlights. Follow me on everywhere. You won't disappoint on what I have. Pretty much I'm going against Shock and right in the ring too. Can't
I'm
wait
looking
for
forward
that.
to that. I spoke to Shockey a few days ago, so I'm excited about that, definitely.
I want to see what we could do together in the ring. Um, you know, support Sportzwire Radio. I'm sorry, I'm a little
I can
still
see we're getting. I know it's you're definitely. I got the point. You
I'm
can.
still
I appreciate
emotional
it.
on like I'm in the Hall of Fame.
Well,
I'm pretty much I'm speechless right now, Tom, and I
well, that's okay.
support
Listen,
Sportswire Radio. Support me. There's my Instagram. Follow me there. Follow what I'm be doing. There's the other links there that follows me. Gave a
yeah,
follow to Shima and Kuma. They really ranking up on how I'm ranking up right now. We're really
they are
taking a part of this new era, I guess, in
new.
NEW. I
Yeah,
could
a
say
new era. Yeah, that was
new
clever.
era,
Good line. Good
NEW
line.
era, pretty
Yeah.
much. But support us, support everybody, and all I can say is all wrestling matters.
Yes, it does.
I
Yep.
thank you everybody who voted for me. Thank you everybody who was pretty much always have my back. Always know that I'm supported in this company and I'm pretty much supported in everywhere else. I want to thank everybody. I want to thank mostly just like thanks everybody at this point. I got nothing else
No,
to
I
say.
think we got the point. I think that Joe, you definitely deserve to be in the Hall of Fame. I enjoy having you on. I know you're going to be back here next month, and I know I'm very much looking forward to you being here because you do definitely brighten our days, and you are certainly somebody that has really improved a lot in the ring and outside the ring. You're definitely one of my favorites, and NEW, I will always have NEW's back, and I appreciate the relationship that we've had over the past year and change. And I look forward to seeing what you guys have to offer, especially the Riot in the Ring and season 7 here in Vortex. You know, Lyra Limber being a part of the company, somebody I know from TPW being in your company, I think is a cool thing. And Joe, definitely a memorable episode as always with you. And we're going to definitely have a lot to talk about once again in a few weeks. And definitely check out Vortex and also check out NWE, definitely whenever that appears for more episodes. Yeah, definitely see that. And I'll send you the physical copy of the certificate when we're off the air. And congratulations. And I look forward to seeing you next month. And Torrance Banks is here May 5th. So you might want to have your
Oh,
calendar circle for that day. Yeah, you'll be on after him. So stay tuned. But
That always love being around part here.
I see that, and yeah, well, we'd rather have you. Anthony was, let's just say I don't want to go into that episode yesterday. Yeah, but the people tuned in. I mean, they tuned in, but that was, I don't know if I want to burn someone's Tua follows, Samoan Tua follows. That was, but we'll leave that at that. We love Anthony, but Anthony with the mic is like CM Punk sometimes. You just never know what you're gonna get. But I tell you what, that was Joestar, the Puerto Rican Dream, the star of the show. He is the NEW Northeast champion. He was also voted for season 6 Feud of the Year alongside Tyson Spader. Just came on. He was also a fan favorite of the year, and he is also the man that's also in action for places like NWE. You're also going to see him in the Riot in the Ring too against Shockey, of course, King Shock. You're
Yep.
also going to see him a part of season 7 Vortex starting here, coming up in 2 weeks from April the 26th. My name is the Reverend Tom Bryce, your voice, figuratively and literally, where all wrestling matters. If you're here on Sportswire Radio, I'll do a regular sports show about 11 o'clock, so we'll see what happens there. Also, I'm here tomorrow night with Jason Storm. Jason Storm and Natural Selection of ROEW. And Jason Storm and Natural Selection will be in the Riot in the Ring too. So you might want to tune into what they have to say. And Monday night, I'll be here with, again, Kicks guitarist of the legendary band that famously had a song that hit number 11 on the Billboard Hot 100. That was, of course, Mr. Brian Damage Force. He was the guitarist of the band Rhino Bucket, so that'll be a fun show. But in the meantime, thank you so much. And yeah, definitely we'll see you then. Thank you, Blood and Honor. And definitely message me on Instagram at the Sports Report 2021 or Facebook at Sportswire Radio. Maybe we'll talk some Blood and Honor wrestling in the next few weeks. So keep in touch with that. But until then, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. On another one. Global Radio That is Sportswire Radio, where all wrestling matters. Thank you so much, everybody. Please support NEW and can't wait for season 7 and have a great